Hey everyone, it's the Four Gun Guy, and my friends at Discovery sent me some scope rings and mounts to talk about today, so that's what I wanted to do. But I thought let's kind of follow our normal procedure here. So let's talk about the type of scope rings that I've been using, what I like to use, how they've held up. We'll talk about some other options, and then I want to get to the Discoveries specifically, talk about some of the things they're doing that I really like. So if you're ready to go, let's get to it. Well, you all should know by now that I am a spur guy, right? I love the spur scope mounts in particular. This is a cantilever mount that I took off my 22 rifle yesterday. I'm doing some things there. And I've really liked the spur mounts. This is $420, okay? I like Seekins mounts. I have a pair of Seekins rings here. Very good rings, 140 bucks on Amazon. And Seekins stuff has always been good to me. I have heard from my friends of some issues they've been having with a very specific, very high-end mount that was the rave about 9 months ago, 10 months ago. These types of mounts have a pin that you kind of fold over the top part of the ring, and then you clamp it down there. Those pins have been breaking. Now, to be honest with you, Spur had the same kind of problem with this bar here on theirs a couple years ago. I've never had a problem with it, and I've had 7, 8 Spur mounts, never had a problem, but other people had. This was cracking. My point to you is, wow, even when you spend $400+ on a scope mount, doesn't seem that you're going to be guaranteed that it's going to be perfect. So when Discovery sent me these mounts, of course, and they know this, I told them, you know, I'm going to be honest about what I see and how they look. Now, let's talk about the mounts that I have on this Discovery optic on this rifle, and I've ran about 300 rounds through this thing with this scope and this mount, these rings on it. No issues, no loss of zero. In fact, you can see this setup in a video I did not too long ago where I just happened to have 3 of my rifles at the range. One had my Gen 3 on it, one had the Burris XTR Pro on it, and the other one, and this one, was there. So you can see, in fact, I'll put that up there. You can see the comparison between not only those scopes, but these rings were on this rifle when I did that video. I've been really happy with these rings, this scope on this rifle. This is a 6.5 Creedmoor. It's a very light rifle. It's not my competition rifle. This thing's about 12 pounds. My competition rifle's 21. So this thing has a lot more recoil and a lot more chance, in my opinion, to get the scope and the mounts all messed up. So I've been running Discovery for a while on this rifle. Let's go through each one of these rings and mounts that they sent me, and I want to talk about some things that I really like. So they sent me 3 different options here. They sent me 2 rings and a mount. This is a cantilever mount. The rings are, the cantilever and one set of the rings are made of 6061 aluminum. And this other set of rings is 7075 aluminum, which is aircraft grade stuff. One thing that I've noticed on all 3 of these is they've done their what they call their coaxial grinding on all 3. And what that is this little inner, let me just bring this up here. You can see the aluminum, right? The shiny part inside here. Number 2, I really like the vertical aspect of these. The thing that just kills me with my spur mounts, even though I do like them, is this diagonal attachment to the ring head here, right? I just can't stand that because it's very hard to get that scope leveled when you're torquing down these diagonal rings. On a top-down approach, you don't have that issue. The other thing that I'm noticing on these is it's a bit tacky inside here. It's not that it's thick, that it's going to interfere with the radial compression of the ring itself, but it's just enough that I know when I put the scope on there, as I adjust that scope and get it centered, get it vertical, get it aligned properly, it's not going to move as I start to torque these down. And then speaking of torque, one other thing I did want to point out is on the 7075 rings here, I really like that they have this indexing tab. Now I'm going to again try to get this in but you see this tab right here? This tab indexes into a hole in here. And so right now, I'm in. Right now, boom, it's in. It's not going anywhere. So as I'm tightening these or trying to tighten them, things aren't coming loose and I'm moving it all over the place. I had a couple instances one time where I was in a hurry, it was my fault, but I didn't have it lined up quite right, and I could feel the threads of those screws start to mess up on me. So this really helps a lot. And then the last thing that I just, I've said this about this Discovery stuff before. The thing I absolutely love is this. I'm going to bring this up close. I may just put a picture up here. Tell me what you see here. What do you see right here? It's a torque value. It tells me what to torque this down to. What do you see up here? What do you see right there? It's a torque value. It's telling me what to torque these rings down at, right? And then finally, what do you see here? Now, like Spur does have this, right? You see the numbers. You see what order am I supposed to torque down to? It's little simple stuff like this, guys, that helps you mount these things very quickly. And I'm not going out to a website wondering what the torque values are. That just drives me up the wall. And other than that, look, when you're telling me that this is 6,000 grade and these are 7,000 grade aluminum, okay, so is this for $400. So are these for 150 bucks. Cantilever mount, $45. I'm sorry. These rings, $35. So this goes back to a conversation we've been having a lot lately, and that is, if you're just starting out and you're on a budget, look, there are some things that you can spend your money on. Powder scales, the right dies, those types of things. Now I'm going to get comments that say, are you kidding me? You're going to trust $35 or $45 rings at a PRS match? Yeah, I would. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm not just saying this because they sent these to me. I'm telling you because I have a scope of theirs with their rings on a 6.5 Creedmoor. I've sent 300 plus rounds down range on, and nothing has happened here. And I've shot this off of the props that I use for matches. So I'm not just bench rest shooting here. I have shot this off the prop. I'm going to tell you why. Because next year, I may go back and shoot some production matches in the production division, and this would be the rifle that I would do that with. So anyway, there you have it. I just wanted to talk to you about this. It's a great value option to start with. But yeah, if you're just starting out, I don't think you can go wrong with a set of these rings or this cantilever mount from Discovery Optics. So take it for what you want. Discovery, I want to thank you again for trusting me with your products and allowing me to give honest reviews on them, because I will. And I've got some other stuff coming up. And until next time, guys, shoot straight.